This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohn, and welcome to ABC7 at 7. Topping our news tonight, it is one of the greatest and most valuable resources in this part of the state. It's the lifeblood of agriculture, and it's one of the biggest concerns to the environmentalists who warn about the impact on the environment and people. Now, a major phosphate mining operation could get underway near the head of the Myakka River in Manatee County. Manatee's Planning Commission is considering a proposal from Mosaic for mining 685 acres of wetlands near Wingate East. Residents in the area worry the mining could impact the local water supply.
Out there, we're not like in here. We don't have the county water being pumped into us by pipes. We have wells in the ground. So our water source is coming directly from them right across the street.
There'll be more wetlands, grouped better, and the functions will be greater than what exists there now.
Mosaic hasn't had an incident affecting water supply since the 1970s. The company plans to donate $2.5 million to the Manatee Community Foundation for the anticipated impact on wildlife. This is why you always see those warnings about eating raw shellfish. A Sarasota County resident is dead from a bacteria found in Gulf waters. Florida's Department of Health confirms the victim was exposed to the bacteria from seafood. The specific bacteria is often found in shellfish, especially raw oysters. Exposure typically leads to the symptoms of food poisoning, but in rare cases, it can be deadly.
Anytime the water temperature is over 70 degrees, chances are Vibrio is going to get into those oysters. Now, the strength of the bacteria, what we call the virulence, varies. And so sometimes it's going to be worse than others, and there's no way to predict that. Oysters are typically served raw, so there's nothing that the restaurant can do in preparation to prevent the infection.
Health officials say those with weak immune systems and liver disease should avoid raw oysters. The name of the victim has not been made public. School begins in Sarasota on Monday, and the school district is making the safety of students and faculty a top priority. The district is welcoming a new safety and security director this year. Michael Andreas has a background in Homeland Security, and he is now responsible for the protection of more than 40,000 students. His team uses security cameras to keep schools under constant watch.
Our system of security is not a one-and-done kind of thing. It is a living system, so we will continue to make changes and improvements to it throughout the year.
The district will also be implementing a visitor identification and management system to track who is coming and going at every school. In Manatee County, school enrollment is on the rise. Initial numbers show there are nearly 500 more students in the district than last year. That puts the student population in Manatee around 48,000. The school district says it was anticipating the increase and expects more than 49,000 students to be enrolled by the end of the year. The city of Venice could soon be turned over a well-field park to the county. City leaders want Sarasota County to take over the park. In exchange, Venice would perform maintenance on smaller parks, work currently being done by the county. City leaders say Wellfield is a major expense to the city, which is why it is often in disrepair.
The soccer team is huge, 800 participants, baseball, football, but they're not just Venice residents, yet we don't have the same capital contribution that goes into the county parks.
County and city officials will discuss the idea. Get ready, Venice residents. The city is preparing for a water outage at the end of the month. A contractor is replacing a potable water valve. The outage will take place on Tuesday, August 30th from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. Affected areas will be required to boil water or use bottled water for drinking or cooking. You can see the full list of affected areas on our website, mysuncoast.com. Steve, just a little while ago, the thunder was so loud it was shaking the building.
The whole building was rumbling, and the skies were ominous. That shelf cloud that came over was really awesome. Fortunately, it didn't do very much damage. We had some lightning strikes, very powerful positive lightning strikes, but that's all now moving out into the Gulf of Mexico, as we can see on radar. And on the close-up, the Sunshine Skyway had a really nasty storm go over it earlier, but all that has moved out into the Gulf of Mexico. There was a special marine advisory out for those storms, and even in South County and Charlotte County, they're in the clear as well, or you're in the clear as well. Taking a look at the tropics very quickly, Tropical Storm Fiona in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean poses no threat to land. I don't even think that Bermuda is going to be under the gun from this one, but it has 50-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, about 45 mile an hour now, and then it weakens as we move through the weekend and early part of next week, encountering cooler water to the north. Here's our RPM computer forecast showing those storms very clearly moving out right now, and overnight skies clear, and even to early part of the morning, hardly any showers at all. Now, our wind pattern is changing from an easterly direction to a southerly direction, so that'll shut off the East Coast sea breeze, meaning those big organized storms will be gone right on through the weekend, and we'll have a chance of morning storms for a change, but not a lot of them. And interior parts of our viewing area have about a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms through the weekend and early part of next week, but right along the coast and over the bays, it's going to be dry pretty much. Partly cloudy and warm tonight. Our low temperature 76 with light winds, and tomorrow a partly sunny day. 30% chance of mainly inland storms, and our 7-day outlook shows that chance goes down to about 10% on Saturday and stays dry through the week. All in all, the storms are going to take a holiday. Great place to do it.
I'm looking forward to that. Thanks a lot, Steve. And still to come, a crowding crisis at Manatee Animal Services. The agency is striving to be a no-kill shelter, but with the numbers of pets continue to rise. That story when we come back.
The all-new MySuncoast.com. Just another way we're here for you.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
It's heartbreaking. Overcrowding at Manatee County Animal Services has many questioning whether or not the department can achieve its goal of becoming a true no-kill shelter. ABC7's Adam Cellini explains why the Palmetto facility is under so much stress.
Go take my stuff. 4 kittens in an office has been the norm at Manatee County Animal Services. For months, they've been at nearly double capacity, and everyone, including Department Chief Sarah Brown, is making room wherever possible.
They need a little more space, so I let them come in here. They've only been here, I guess, since last week.
In a Palmetto facility built for 80 dogs and 56 cats, staff is currently taking care of over 300 animals.
It's very stressful. Unfortunately, with that kind of capacity, it's going to be stressful. But, you know, I have a really great staff. They work really, really hard. They try their hardest to do what's right for the animals.
Brown is trying to transition animal services into a no-kill shelter, but the numbers are working against her. When compared to the same 4-month period last year, animal control confiscations have been up more than 100, while adoptions down by an even larger margin. Half those confiscations have been law enforcement related, though the Manatee Sheriff's Office says targeting animal abuse isn't really their jurisdiction.
We could handle a case where there's a mixture of both as far as the criminal charges go, but for the most part, it gets turned over to Animal Services.
In nearby Sarasota County, the two worlds collide. There, the sheriff's office runs Animal Services. And though they have more kennels, they have not been over capacity with dogs all year. A supervisor tells us the sheriff's deputies give animal control enforcement more teeth, as violations can be met with arrests instead of just repeated citations. But no one back in Manatee County seems to envy that model.
I think it depends on the community and what works best for them. I think what we have here works well.
Animal Services does their thing, we do our thing, and we work in conjunction. We work very closely with Animal Services, and it seems to be working.
Also, unlike Sarasota, local ordinances mandate Manatee County Animal Services to take on owner surrenders, which is why local shelters like Nate's Honor Animal Rescue will often try to help by taking on a few pets.
They're in a very unique situation because they have to take everything that comes through the door.
Associate Director Karen Slumba says these issues run deep in the county.
There is an abundance of, it seems, large dogs, pit bulls, bully breeds that people end up not being able to take in because of their HOA restrictions or their insurance restrictions.
As these problems persist, Animal Services is focused on increasing adoptions with a revamped marketing department responsible for events like the recent Adopt-A-Palooza, where 36 of their animals found new homes.
To adopt out that many in one day and get them into forever homes is a huge success. It certainly, warms our hearts to be able to see them go into these great homes.
It's also where Gary Lostotsky met Sonia, a former police confiscation who had been with Animal Services for over a year.
I told him I was here to adopt Sonia. All the volunteers were crying, hugged me, that I was here to take her.
Now, how long can her cage stay empty?
Sonia says go up there and get all her friends out of there, because they want a good, loving home too.
Manatee County hasn't forgotten about Animal Services. On their wish list for the upcoming half-cent sales tax, they've added $1 million in renovations for the Palmetto facility. Chief Sarah Brown says those conversations still have yet to happen, but her wish list includes, no surprise here, more cages. In Palmetto, Adam Cellini, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
When we come back, we'll speak with some organizations helping to find homes for pets here on the Suncoast.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
Don't miss the Weddings of Sarasota 16th Annual Wedding Show at the iconic Sarasota Municipal Auditorium on US 41, Sunday, August 28th from noon to 4 p.m. The runway show is on the stage at 3 p.m. Enjoy hors d'oeuvres and live entertainment. $2,000 in Weddings of Sarasota dollars will be given away after the runway show, but you must be present to win. Make sure to pre-register at weddingsofsarasota.com. Brides and grooms are free if registered by midnight, August 26th. Guests only $5. Weddings of Sarasota. Register today.
Joining us for more on tonight's topic is Rick Yoakum, Executive Director of the Humane Society of Manatee County, and Marcia Panucci, Executive Director of Dante's Den. Thank you both for coming in tonight. And Rick, let me start with you, because I was taken by something in Adam's story about why is the problem so much more severe in Manatee County than in Sarasota County?
I think there are a couple of different factors that play into this. I do think the Sarasota County model that has the animal services underneath the Sheriff's Department adds a level of seriousness to abandonment cases and neglect cases and things like that. It's treated more seriously, I believe, here in Sarasota County. The other issue you have in Manatee County is there's a lot of people who are very, very financially challenged. I mean, it's a growing problem, and that leads to the abandonment and owner surrenders. Pet retention is as important as pet adoption.
But that raises the interesting question. Are you saying that people at Animal Services should be asking tougher questions of people and families who come in there considering to adopt a pet?
I think it's extremely important because, again, returns of adopted animals is something that has to be taken very seriously by any shelter. And I think every shelter has different protocols for dealing with who they're adopting out to. It's got to be the right family for the right dog. There definitely are issues that need to be talked about with people. It's a communication process that needs to take place. It's very important.
Yeah, at Dante's Den, we really play matchmakers, and we do not have the same-day adoption. That's very, very important. So we're meeting with people. Our application, Rick and I were talking about our different applications. It's very lengthy. We meet with people. We communicate with people. Is this the right family? And then we make a home visit. So we get a pretty good idea of who that dog is going to go to.
The advantage of no same-day adoptions, what is that?
Well, it gives us an opportunity, of course, to go and visit the home of the prospective fur parents that we're going to place the dog with. And it also gives the people an opportunity to go home and really think about what it is that they're going to do. Because I'm sure that Rick would very much agree with me. The pervasive underlying problem of everything that's going on is irresponsible pet control with people. And you've got to be responsible. You're responsible for your children. You're responsible for your grandchildren. Well, you better be responsible for your pets because they need you.
Over the last couple of months, I've been going on the different shelter sites in both Manatee, Sarasota, actually the entire Bay Area, looking at animals as my family considers taking on another one. What struck me is that there's so many pit bulls listed when you look at the shelter animals, and frankly, because of the stories you hear from time to time, many families would not consider pit bulls in that types of dogs. So is that a specific problem and issue here?
Right now, I believe Rick would agree with me that it is a very persuasive issue, but it is no different than the Doberman issue and the Rottweiler issue that we all experienced in the 1980s. And now we get requests for these dogs. Education. Education is what you need to know. And I will tell you that we do have some pit bulls at Dante's Den, and they are the most loving dogs that you could possibly have. And so it always depends on the dog, the genetics of the dogs, what was the atmosphere that the dogs came from. You have to look at all of that, and that's what we do.
But Rick, still a lot of families, especially families with young children, may be more hesitant to take in a pit bull?
There are definitely personality traits with every breed of dog, and it needs to be the right match for that family's environment, their home, who lives in the house, whether grandparents are there, children are there, where do they live, what's the neighborhood like, what are the exercise opportunities available for the dog. So it's not an issue of a family walking in, seeing a dog and thinking it's cute because its ears are crooked. It's really communication with these adopters, potential adopters, by our shelter employees, our staff, and our volunteers to make sure that it is a dog that fits their lifestyle. It's very important. Pit bull is no different than any other large breed dog throughout history. They make wonderful family companions. Certainly there are households with children that have pit bulls that are loving, loyal companions, the nanny dog. It's a lot of times unfairly portrayed in the media, pit bulls. There have certainly been incidences that are serious, but again, it's matching the dog to the right people. That's what it's all about.
Most people want German Shepherds, we have found. But I will tell you that not every German Shepherd should go to a family. And we watch that very, very carefully. So it can be in every breed.
Let me get your thoughts, both of you, on this, because it seems the situation in Manatee is almost a crisis at this point, and it's certainly not sustainable. So without a magical and immediate infusion of money, what are we supposed to do here?
Well, I can tell you this, that there is a solution, and there will be a solution to this. I arrived here in Manatee County, Humane Society Manatee County, in early March. And from the first day I was here and up until today, I have never seen a county where animal welfare organizations collaborate so closely and work together. People in animal welfare are very passionate, and a lot of times egos rise above the animals. That doesn't exist here. These groups that are here don't judge each other, which is really the biggest important first step. These groups work to help each other. Every group does something well. They don't do everything well, although I like to think we do at the Humane Society of Manatee County and Dante's Den. But, you know, everybody is part of this solution.
Well, what about the collaboration between, you know, nonprofit groups and organizations and county animal services?
Well, we at Dante's Den, we're happy to help any of the humane societies and animal services, which we do. We do a lot of interagency transfers. We know how full they are. We are a private foundation, so we can watch our census pretty carefully. We look at the staff, we look at the ratio of the dogs to the staff, and so we try not to get into that type of a position. But that doesn't mean that we can't help, and we're happy to help.
Well, let me finally ask you, in terms of, I know that there are ebbs and flows in terms of the rates of adoption and families and people going out there. Where are we right now? Are we below or above or at averages in terms of adoption rates? And we probably only have a couple of seconds left.
I don't have the statistics for Dante's Den at this moment, but I can tell you that we have been adopting out dogs on a regular basis since we opened, which was last July, and we're actually now in a full position that we can start adopting dogs out again. However, I know you are in a full position.
And we actually at the Humane Society of Manatee County, we're seeing an increase every year over the last several years, 15–20% above.
And we'll have to leave it there. Thank you both for joining us. We'll be back in just a moment with some viewer comments.
Welcome to the all-new Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice.
Seymour smiles.
Seymour selection of quality new and pre-owned vehicles.
Seymour for your trade-in.
Seymour savings.
Step up to GMC and get cash back for up to 12% of the MSRP on these select 2016 GMC vehicles. That's over $9,300 cash back on this Yukon.
Seymour now at Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice. Go to SeymourBuickGMC.com.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Do you have what it takes to become a champion? The Sarasota YMCA Shark Swim Team has been developing champions since 1961. Fall swim team tryouts for kids ages 6 through 18 are being held August 15th through the 18th and August 22nd to the 25th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tryouts are held at the Evelyn Sadler Jones branch, YMCA's Selby Aquatic Center. For more information, visit sarasotaymca.org/sharks.
The official salon of ABC7.
cutting loose along.
Finally, tonight, plans for Sarasota's former Quay site are going to the City Commission. The developer is planning to build nearly 700 condos and 175 hotels on the site. Here is what you are saying about the plan. Jimmy Seaton writes, they salivate over millions in tax dollars to waste. I guess a year or so after it's done, they will spend a fortune on a consultant to do a traffic study. Betsy Pearson writes, I don't know why they even bother with public meetings anymore, because if it involves more tax money for the city, it will be passed every time regardless. And Samantha Baalis writes, Sarasota is no longer a hidden gem. Our roads are going to be jam-packed even more with smog and rude people. The beaches are going to be cluttered with trash because no one respects the beauty of it anymore. Well, if you'd like to join the conversation about tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/news@7. And that is all the time we have for this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alan Cohn. Have a good night.